Hi everybody, the Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to Real Economy Trucking Hero Style. I'm running a Real Economy mod here and just trying to plow along and see how I can do. Still maintaining a good profit. Early on in the series was really a struggle to go for any length of time. Pretty much every time I had to fuel up, it seemed, I started losing money. But maybe we're finally at a tipping point where things are working. So what I've gone is gotten through to the Middle East from the last episode, and we're going to kind of start exploring that area a little bit now. But before we get in there, since we're on 1.47, and we just had made that transition in the last episode, there's a new career mode that they've gone ahead and put in place. So let's take a look at that. And I shouldn't say it's necessarily a new mode, but they just give you a lot more detail. And so this was really interesting to me because it definitely gets into a lot of things that have happened. So you can see your penalties for the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure with some of the mods if it is tracking that here appropriately, but you know, I think this is pretty neat to see everything we've done. We've done 56 total deliveries over the course of this profile. Basically about 10% of the companies that are available to me have been served. Very few depots. As you can see, 2,700 depots. Just think about that. Did a lot of long drives in the beginning trying to make some money. Hauling yachts back and forth, so I'm not surprised that's my most common delivery. But the cool thing is, I did really well. All my deliveries were excellent, on time, undamaged. Not a lot of map exploration, but once again, cities and countries visited, so we've gotten to about, well, exactly half the countries, which is pretty cool, actually, to think we've hit that many already. Got a lot of truck dealers we haven't discovered, and recruitment agencies were pretty bad. And we've really done no viewpoints. I don't know what photo trophies captured are, frankly. We own 3 trucks, and total distance, total on duty, so that gives us some info. Size of our company, and then kind of the real time we've spent and game time that we've played. But when I had taken a look at this was also quite interesting because it has the information, even though we haven't done this all in 1.47. Clearly this data's stored somewhere in the log to show everything we've done. So if you ever want to go back and look, you know, we have this ability, but you can obviously see these yachts, you know, over and over. We got 3, I guess just 3 of them, so it's not terrible, but still. So I just figured I'd share that with you because I found it interesting when I took a peek at it. So let's go take a look and see what kind of job we're going to do. Alright, so we're over here in Latakia, Syria, I believe. And so after looking at things, I want to get a little bit of a drive. There's a few things that are short. The challenge here being that I'm in a ferry port is there's a lot of things that appear short but start taking me back over to Europe. And you know, right now I'd like to hang around here, maybe even go all the way out here in Iraq, but because there's a lot here and it's then unlikely that I'm going to get here, I'm going to go up here into Turkey a little bit. You know, we're not going to really worry about necessarily getting all the way over because I want to hopefully have jobs that take me back here. But this one looks pretty good. We've got 2 hours and 14 minutes to pick it up. 1.09 euros per kilometer. So let's go get at this. Alright, so let's take a look at where we need to go, because I don't want to drive around a whole lot. Alright, so we're here, so maybe the pickup's right here. This is not having us go anywhere, so I guess we'll just go to the exit, talk to the dispatcher, and see if in fact this is where our load is. I think it is. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to take this job of canned pork, and now we've got this back here. We can see it in our mirror off to the right, blinking away. So doesn't seem like I'm moving back that fast, but I'm doing a normal. It just seems substantially more confusing here. Whoops. All right. So that's easy enough. Certainly easy enough to pick up in the 2 hours and 14 minutes. All right, we have 911 kilometers till we're empty. If we pass some fuel on the way, maybe I'll get it. I am down to a quarter tank. So I'll get myself centered up here, and we'll see where it tells us to go. Alright, well, this is always helpful when it doesn't, so... Alright, so we want to go to the right. So we'll do that. Because, yeah, I'd rather not be sticking out in the road before I get told, but obviously that's what I would have had to do. It makes sense, because we want to be heading, obviously, north to get up there, but part of what I wanted to do is just, other than news reports and things, like, this is an area of the world I'm very unfamiliar with, and so I think just having the opportunity, you know, via sim, obviously, to explore some areas here and see what the terrain looks like and so forth. You know, once again, assuming the folks that did this, what I found with modders on these maps is they tend to be from the area, so they understand what they would consider to be important features and so forth, whether, I'm assuming, you know, I don't know if those are olive trees over there, things like that. But it's interesting how, you know, there's farm fields like right there. And I think this is a border crossing. So do we have to stop? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I guess we were going too slow. Interesting that he would go around there. So, well, there's fuel right here, so just to avoid worrying about that later. I've got 8 hours and 24 minutes till I need to rest, so... No, this is pretty interesting. I would have not have expected a large fuel depot like this, but, you know, maybe it's because it's near the border, or maybe they're more common than I think. But wow, look at that diesel price. It's just 0.67 euros. Now I wonder again if this is the result of, we're basically here kind of a lot nearer the region than where I live here in the US, where there's a lot of oil around and so forth, so maybe things are significantly less expensive. It's similar to when I lived in you know, Tennessee back in the Depression era days, when Roosevelt was doing a lot of things with the work programs. You know, you had the Tennessee Valley Authority, and they built a lot of electrical infrastructure right there in Tennessee, and what that has grown into, coming up on 100 years later, is very inexpensive electrical generation because of all that investment that happened at that point in time. So it's possible that obviously it's a very similar type thing, being here near the countries that are producing some oil. Not sure. Oranges? I don't know. They're little orange things in the trees, so. But a little bit unique, so definitely first few minutes into where I'm going here. Pretty interesting, in that this is exactly what I wanted, was like a different experience than what I was getting in mainland Europe, and certainly that. So the thing I don't know with Turkey is it mountainous or what? And so that's kind of what I wanted to see. It's interesting because like all the signs there appear to be a little shot up or something. It looks like we can go to either one of these, so there's only one car here, so instead of going to the other one, I guess I'll go here. And there you got some troops with... Ooh, a dog too. I didn't see the dog. Hi, dog. Goodbye. But interesting. I wonder if that is how they do it, because that would be normally BYE. But obviously the main language here is not English, so they're being kind in that if we can't read Arabic script, which I certainly cannot, that at least you kind of can have an idea of what's going on. But goodbye, thanks to your visit, where once again, grammatically we usually say thanks for your visit. But here we go, going into Turkey. So as is typical, we have a checkpoint or a customs check leaving, and then immediately a customs check entering, so that each country can do what they need to do. What did I hit there? That was very strange. I'm going to try to go around these guys, because they're really going slowly, and I don't know why, and I don't want to take 5 minutes to get to the checkpoint and then wait for them. And I'm guessing, I would hope, they would be going to the car checkpoint and not coming over here in the truck lane, which in this case for Turkey was clearly marked. Now, very different uniforms there. He looks really, really bored, just kind of kicking things around. He's clearly not the guy who's going to check our documents, I would assume. He's just there in case we do something foolish. Yeah, he's still standing there. We can see him in our mirror. So yes, we're bringing pork in. Canned pork, so, you know, it'll be good for some time, because it's likely preserved and so forth. So I still have 171 kilometers, so Hatay il something, I don't know. Not sure if those were the Western letters underneath, or if Turkey has some different kind of script. One of those unskinned vehicles. Alright, so it looks like it goes 75, so they're like holding that rock up with mesh. So I think that's a mosque with a minaret over there sticking up, and looks like, alright, well, we had more fuel here. It looks more expensive compared to what we had, so I'm glad we filled up there. It's almost double the price, but when you're at 0.67, it's not too hard to double. Alright, car just kind of straddling the curb there. A little bit of mist. I don't know if that's like a waterfall or what's happening over there, but something is. Again, it's giving us the ability to move along, but I'm feeling these curves are a little tighter than I'd want to normally deal with. So yeah, there was another update to Eurotruck where they've introduced the MAN TGX, I believe it is, truck. So, other than letting you know that, I don't really have any specific plans. I don't tend to just replace my vehicles, and especially with real economy trucking here, I think that would be almost impossible. Well, that was the biggest curb in the world for just making a slight mistake.
Exit now.
So I'm assuming, again, these billboards and so forth are true to form, things that you'd see, and maybe advertisers even that you'd see. But very nice road network here, I will say.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
All right. Just make sure nobody's coming. I, again, don't want to create an accident where I don't
Exit
need to.
now.
All right. So, I don't think it gave us a discovery of the city. It's still white. Oh, interesting. There's like a McDonald's and H&M, so I don't know if that's a mall type thing there. There's some cars flying and floating in the air. They're levitating in their parking situation there. So, a little bit of a glitch. But yeah, it looks like unless we pull into the city there, we're not going to get the discovery. I was kind of hoping as we went through a few cities that we would, but
At the roundabout,
it's
take
not
the third
happening.
exit.
Alright, so all the way out and to the left, basically. So I assume that truck will be waiting.
Exit now.
Currycon. Oh, the loan installment. Again, always, the sounds are the same. So there's a Turkish flag up there on top of the hillside, you can see. Guy on a bicycle. Again, a little bit of levitation going on above the road surface, but I'm sure fixing everything and making it perfect, it would be a substantial effort, so. It's almost like those are tolls or cameras or something. I'm not sure what I'm seeing there. Alright, so something written on the hillside, but it doesn't look like anything that I can read or understand. Although it does, maybe it says once something. Or maybe it's just a coincidence that it looks like once, but it's a totally different word in Turkish. Don't know. So I'll keep my eye on the road. Oh, speaking of viewpoints, it looks like we might get one here. Well, that's nice. We'll see if we go that way. I would think we would. Oh, do I want to play chicken here? I don't. Because he's not going to stop. I can't believe. Maybe that's just the way they drive. Maybe that was my fault. I should have, like, realized he's not going to give up, and I should just let him in. So yeah, there was a little concern here. This is kind of what I was worried about, is that if it is a little bit mountainous, that this becomes a bit like driving through Mexico in American Truck Simulator, where even though it's only 205 kilometers, which should be no time at all, that this in fact turns into something significantly more, just because of speed limits and local rules and so forth. We haven't been stopped by a whole lot of lights. I don't know that I really saw that bump. I think there was a little bit across the road there, but we're not going anywhere near too fast, so like any kind of a speed bump or anything like that doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, not mountainous per se, but certainly a bit hilly. We're obviously climbing a bit. Now again, we can't see what's on the other side straight ahead of us, so maybe it does get more mountainous, but we tend to be sticking kind of near the coast here. So they've got a few windmills generating some power, I assume. But yeah, if we can, we'll take a few moments out of our trip to take in the view at the viewpoint. Road surface changes back a little bit, so we'll see if Iskenderun, if we we'll discover that. That isn't where we're headed. We're going to Osmaniye. Again, I have no idea if I'm saying it correctly or if I'm terribly mispronouncing it. Alright, so where... Oh, maybe we can't get to the viewpoint easily. It might be on the other side. So maybe when we leave, we'll take a look at it. Because, like, it didn't even call it out. Oh, is it just literally right here? Interesting. Well, it's on the other side. We'll do it as we're coming back the other way, so another episode. But it's nice that they let you do it from that side. Oh, looks like a cat and dog billboard of some sort. Looks like here we need to exit to go to the town we're going to. A little bit of warning flashers here, so I better be careful.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Alright, so we may again not discover this. Some of these lines are floating above the surface.
Exit right.
But a pretty major interchange here, to say the least. Oh, we did get it. Alright, that is nice, because then if I need to... If I can't find a load, I might be able to just drift back here. It's 62 kilometers, so while not ideal, it's certainly within a reasonable distance. Oh, do
Keep
we...
left.
Great. So now we have some detour fun. But, yeah. I've tried to go by those before. You can't get past the rotors. But, so hopefully we can just exit here and then kind of get back on and continue. But I don't remember if this was a rush job. We have 5 hours and 25 minutes to deliver, and we've got a little over an hour to get there. But hopefully, basically, we can get down here and make a U-turn, and then...
Keep left, and then turn left.
So I'm actually going to just do this, like, right here. And hopefully those cars won't try to get by me.
Keep left.
There we go. And then, hopefully this will let me on, and I can continue on. Again, whether what I did there is legal or not for the local traffic laws, I don't know. It's sad to see there's graffiti here as well. I thought that might have been a thing that may not have existed in certain parts, but they had it on the pylons there on the bridge. But, you know, there we go. It's the life flight helicopter, because it must have been a pretty bad accident, so hopefully everyone will ultimately be okay. Looks like, again, we've got another viewpoint. I don't know where that one is. It might be up there. I'm not sure. It's harder to... Oh boy, I'm gonna go over here. It looks very, very tight in that lane, so I don't want to get wedged in there. That would be really unfortunate. Alright, so I'm not sure if this road texture means we're climbing again. I mean, obviously we're not climbing very much. We are going up a bit. So, start of the toll road, it said, so we'll be paying some sort of toll, I would imagine. Again, this is a pretty substantially built out infrastructure of a roadway. Definitely what I would say a full-fledged highway, freeway, 3 lanes each way. Guardrails on each side to improve safety. But a lot more lush and built out than what I would expect in some cases, where I'm sure in some areas we'll be going through a lot of sand and things like that. So, looks like we should be exiting here. And it looks like, yeah, the map doesn't let you go straight, so we're going to have to exit here regardless.
Keep right, and then exit right.
But we're, at this point, 27 kilometers away,
Exit
so
right.
it should pretty soon be letting us know where we need to deliver. Alright, I can turn that off. Interesting that I'm not seeing it, but there's the toll gate. So we're gonna have to swing around here again. Yeah, that Il Scenery or whatever it says, it's on the sign again, so I'm assuming it's Turkish and it means something, but I don't know what it is. So if you do know, let us know in the comments so that we can all learn. Alright, so I see truck going that way. I'm gonna do the same thing, because it looks like that way we don't have a gate, where I think the other way, no, I guess there are gates, they're just up. Alright, 35 euros. I forget my 299 euros, now I see what I'm gonna get paid, so...
Keep right, and then exit right.
And there are, again, some cities we can continue
Exit
deeper into
right.
Turkey with later on if we wanted, but we'll have to take a look, because I think otherwise could be a bit of a challenge getting back, but maybe not. Maybe it would be just, again, stopping
right.
here on the way back and pulling through. So I think that's the population, 180,000. I guess this is where we need to be. Oh, a castle. I wonder if we can actually see that at some point, but I'm not worried about it now. We just need to make our delivery. So, Ata Marochi, ooh, that is a bit of a blind curve. So yeah, I have 3 hours and 54 minutes. If I get a short enough job, next time it might make sense, but... Alright, hopefully I can make it. And then it looks like we need to go here. Alright, they want it... Do I have enough room? Yeah, that container standing out there is not going to help. That is for sure. A little bit of room between each one, so hopefully we can make it work without too much difficulty. But let me take a peek. But yeah, that sitting out there is gonna definitely make things a bit challenging. But we might be able to do it. Again, the glories of these short wheelbase tractors. I mean, the trailer wasn't turning on its own. I was a little disappointed. I'm like, oh, that would have helped, but might not work too badly. So, wow. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So maybe it won't give me a lot of experience. No, it gave me the big full amount, 120. Oh, not quite enough to get to level 15 there. But I'm trying to remember, because I think we were at like 5,500, so we lost a little bit. Maybe one of the other folks had gotten fuel or something that I didn't see. Well, actually, we got fuel. What am I talking about? But we got fuel at a wonderful rate. So that's all good, but we're tooling around here in the Middle East area, so we'll continue to do that until we don't. I don't have any real specific plans right now, but definitely want to explore more of the area than just going to one city and then heading back and leaving. But we'll see what we get into next time.